Welcome back to Marketing Champions here in Daily Ad Brief. I'm Howard Walpuff, your host. Again, we're talking about marketing with marketing experts from around the country. Today, we're in Seattle, Washington with Rick Cesari of Direct Branding. And Rick, welcome to our conversation today.
Hey, thanks, Howard. I'm really looking forward to today's conversation.
Well, we're very excited to have you and learn a lot more about you. So why don't we get started with you sharing how you get started in the marketing industry?
Okay, so you have to remember, I've been doing this for 30 years, so I'm going to try and encapsulate that into just a couple minutes. I studied biology in college, came out, and basically was looking for something to do and started working with a guy who was promoting real estate seminars. This is back when we were using newspaper ads. Those were also the first guys to start using television direct response marketing or infomercials. And I learned that way back in the early 80s. And then I owned my own business in 1989 and created a brand called the Juice Man and taught people about juicing. We sold that in 1993, and then I opened an agency helping other people do direct-to-consumer marketing and worked on products like Sonicare, George Foreman Grill, OxyClean, Rug Doctor, and GoPro, and more recently, Dormeo and Theradome.
Well, some of those companies really have made a great presence on TV. They really burned into your mind of seeing that the direct response marketing they've been doing. And obviously that is giving you a lot of background for the things you're doing now with your clients at Direct Branding. So why don't you share with us exactly what you're doing there with your clients?
So one of the important things that I always have learned over the years is I always do everything under the umbrella of direct response. And if the listeners don't exactly know what that is, direct response, direct marketing, direct to consumer, basically any of the advertising you do has to be measurable. You have to know where every advertising dollar, what the return is, and you're always shooting for about a 2-to-1 return. The first book I read about this was something called No BS Marketing by Dan Kennedy. Great book. I highly recommend it. And so no matter what I tell everybody, learn the basics of direct response, and then it doesn't matter the marketing platform. Like I mentioned earlier, I started in newspapers, then radio, then TV. Now we're using Facebook ads and TikTok. But if you understand the fundamentals of direct response, in my opinion, it gives small companies and small businesses a huge edge over the competition.
Yes, it's very clear that you have to be measurable and really assess that measurements on a regular basis and see where the success is and see how your marketing is working for you using the channels that you've chosen to get your message out.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me give you just a real quick example. We were working with GoPro. This is going back a few years, and I met with the owner or founder, Nick Woodman, and we came up with a plan to do 30-second direct television ads. Now, normally these would be brand ads where, GoPro used a lot of user-generated footage. But we decided and talked to Nick Woodman, the founder, and said, let's put an offer at the end of each ad. And at the end of every 30-second ad, a screen would come up and it said, one person wins one of everything we make every single day. So 3 great things happened. One, people would go online to register for the contest, and we would create a database that we could remarket to. Secondly, they would go online, they would see other cool GoPro videos, and they would share them with their friends and create a viral effect. And the third is more traditional direct response. People would go online based on that ad, and they'd purchase a GoPro camera. We would take the revenue from that money, put it back into the campaign. GoPro grew from less than $1 million in sales to $1 billion in sales in 8 years.
Well, having such a great product like GoPro really makes those campaigns work a lot smoother, but still, it's the marketing, it's the work behind the scenes to create those campaigns that do help those companies grow to those levels. The ones you mentioned even earlier in our conversation, the astronomical the amounts of money they made over the course of time, and people know exactly where they saw them and responded to them. I had Oxy and Clean and the George Foreman Grill in my house based on the TV commercials and responding to those type of advertising. So I really appreciate you sharing this. It's really vital information for people to know, and really thank you for joining us today.
Hey, thanks, Howard. It's my pleasure. I'd love to do it again sometime.
And thank you all for joining us as well. It's so important to have really great minds behind your campaigns. What Rick shared is so important to understand. direct marketing and having those call to actions and having a funnel process to get information from people and have them share in sharing your story is a great story, not just for GoPro, but for other companies as well, and possibly yours. So please check out more information here on Daily Ad Brief about direct branding. But go out and have a great rest of today, and I'll see you next time on Marketing Champions.
Simplify presents Addressable CTV, combining the power of TV with the targeting and attribution of digital. Simplify's Addressable CTV delivers massive reach with the ability to scale without sacrificing precision. TV buyers can generate incremental reach with household-level targeting, frequency controls, reporting, and insights. To learn more about Simplify's Addressable CTV and what it can do for your clients, visit simply.fi.